Sanchez doesn't look so strong. And he's static on the rope. Donovan Bouch is taking a closer look. It's a brilliant stoppage from the referee.
Matapos ng 3 impresibong panalo at makakuha ng titulo, dumayo ang Pinoy boxer na si Michael Desmarinas sa isang isla sa Cayman Island, British Territory, at doon kinasahan ang Latino boxer na si Jorge Sanchez.
So here we go at featherweight. Don't take your eye off this, everybody. We've got a real class operator in Michael Desmarinas here to make a big statement for all his Filipino compatriots in the Cayman Islands. And he started very sharply indeed against Jorge Sanchez. No mean opponent in his own right, in the pink here. Fringe world class at his best. Now taking on a really big name. Can he make a statement at this stage in his career that he's not on the slide? Trying to pin Desmarinas against that middle rope in the opening minute of this fight. Desmarinas has seen that before, of course. Makes a little bit of space for himself. The tough Panamanian is doing his best to make it. Sanchez has pro since 2011. Didn't leave Panama actually until 2017. First trip abroad was to Manchester. Lost to a very good fighter in Gavin McDonnell. Over 12 hard rounds. A turning point it may have been in his career. More losses slightly than wins since then, but ever competitive. And still challenging for titles of various kinds. He's always prepared to let go in the early, down in the first round. Last outing back in Panama went the full 8 rounds, but here at featherweight against a very classy operator in Desmarinas. At least we can say early on that Sanchez is giving Desmarinas the kind of fight he was expecting tonight. Hard, pacey, close quarters affair.
Certainly turning on the pressure. Not giving any room to Michael to breathe.
Russell, it's one way to deal with the southpaw, isn't it? Just walk straight through it and take what comes to get your own shots off. Not saying it's going to work in the long run, but it makes it action-packed. And this most certainly has been. Rule 1, try to win the first round, and Sanchez has put a lot of... Desmarinas, the more organised of the two, I would say that. Sanchez trying to create a bit of chaos early on tonight. One or two little signs early in the second round that Desmarinas, who composed himself, if you remember, when he went back to his corner, has now totally tuned in to the fight zone itself, live here on Fight Zone, and he started to make the class show. Roared on by this raucous Filipino support here tonight. This is like being in Manila on a big title fight. Desmarinas gets to work. I felt it had to happen. Suddenly he starts to back Sanchez up. Sanchez might pay for all the early energy expended here. There was menace in a lot of those punches thrown by Desmarinas, and they're quite chilling. They're hurtful punches, very well executed, and suddenly there's not a lot coming back. Desmarinas shifting the plot line immediately in this second round in very impressive fashion. As if to say, well done, Sonny, but don't mess with me. This is a home away from home for me. And I see the nod of the head there by Sanchez. Great shot. There's a bit of blood around as well.
Yeah. A result of all those punches, and credit to him for taking all of them, but they aren't doing him any favors.
They're not doing him any favors. You're quite right to say that, Russell. Double left hook, if you please. Yes, Sanchez is an easy target, but the thrilling accuracy of some of this work in the second round is taking one's breath away here. Crowd are absolutely loving this. As tough as he is, a question forms already. Apparently they tell me he feels he learned more over those 3 rounds than the entire rest of his career. More lateral movement. That's good by Sanchez, but Desmarinas had read it.
It was a sneaky uppercut on the inside.
This has been terrific so far, living up to all one's hopes for it. That's great, downstairs and up. Every one is a telling shot. But doggedly, Sanchez walks forward into harm's way.
He's showing incredible heart, incredible.
Conscious effort made by Sanchez to get closer, and he's using all the tools at his disposal to do that in this round.
Perhaps he's hoping that Michael will tire himself out by throwing such heavy shots, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
If it is a plan, Russell, I've heard of better plans against a guy of this quality, but you may well be right. At least he's trying different things. And he has made Desmarinas work a bit harder in this round after that superb response in round 2 from Desmarinas. More coming back from Sanchez, rising to the occasion here tonight. Not so many of those are actually scoring punches. It was a flashy combination, wasn't it, from Desmarinas?
I couldn't agree with you more, but
it's a good looking shot again, but there was no problem with it. Sanchez took it well, leaning back as he was. Feet are planted, digging in every sense, right from his shoe straps upward. More assertive puncher. Now, after the reminder, look how he starts this round. But can he keep it going? Because he didn't keep it going in round 3. Reverting to more outside work. Everything comes off the good, accurate boxing. With a little bit of pep in the punches. Not every shot has to be a devastating one, but that was a beauty underneath. And again. The problem here is, Russell, Sanchez has walked through both of them without a problem.
I mean, he's like the Terminator, and there he's moving forward to everything, and it doesn't seem to have any effect.
Make no mistake, everybody, this is a very high quality 8-rounder at featherweight this. It was quick and it was powerful, and it did sweep Sanchez sideways, but it wasn't enough to knock him over. Tried it again there to Desmarinas. Beautiful downstairs and upstairs. He does do that particularly well. Little right lead to the body, left hook's already on the way.
And his feet are very well under him. Sanchez, that is. As he gets a flush hook.
Sanchez has done well again in this round to keep in touch with him in terms of the overall shape of this round. Having taken some really big shots all the way through it, he's still landing plenty of scoring punches himself. The eye-catching work may have come from Desmarinas, but let's not overlook the work that Sanchez is doing. The problem with Sanchez really is he looks off balance a lot of the time, and yet he still retains his balance.
100%.
I don't know how he does that.
It's quite a marvelous showing by him. His toughness is on the next level.
Established that already, and that goes for Sanchez, the so-called underdog in the pink at the age of 33, as much as for the hot and spicy 31-year-old from the Philippines, Michael Desmarinas, fighting in front of so many of his own people here tonight, here in the Cayman Islands. And it's very telling indeed that from the crowd perspective, all these Filipinos, they know boxing. They're much more engaged in the contest, and it's all gone a little bit more studied, if I could put it like that, from the Filipino crowd here. They know that this is actually a contest. They were hooping and hollering after a round and a half when Desmarinas turned up the wick, and they thought it might go over quite quickly, but it hasn't worked out like that. And this Filipino boxing crowd, they know that. Sanchez is still very much in it.
Very proud people, the Philippine people. They get behind anyone who is representing them for sure. That includes Desmarinas.
A reminder from the corner to Desmarinas to keep his hands up. Time and time again, he's let that right go underneath, and Sanchez has taken every single one of them and come right back. Sanchez tried to give him a bit of space to throw one back, actually. Look good all around the hall here. Sanchez for once goes back onto the ropes. Desmarinas might be tempted to go for it here a little bit. Sanchez is in a bit of trouble for me. And he did just the right thing in getting out of that corner. Good work from Sanchez again. Desmarinas is throwing the eye-catching shots, but Sanchez is refusing to allow Desmarinas to think he's made a big breakthrough. Talk about hands of stone, Roberto Duran from Panama. This kid has got a heart of absolute granite. It just will not break off. He's blowing very hard here in the Cayman Islands for a few rounds. And in there he's blowing hard, but he still keeps digging in and making headway, literally so at times.
Yeah, he has an answer for everything. Like you said, he's been hit with the Hurricane Category 5 at least, and the kitchen sink, and he is just marching forward like nothing is affecting him.
Every shot from Desmarinas is a good one underneath, but every shot has been taken so well so far by Sanchez. And he still walks forward. It is a shame that Donovan Bauscher has to stop the action for a minute, but he does have to do so. The tape is flapping loose on that glove. The tape is still loose after all that, to be honest with you, but nobody wants to see it. Stopped again. And a cut over the right eye of Desmarinas. Neither has really got into his flow in this round because of the two halts in the action, and Sanchez immediately starts to put the head in where that cut is and try to put a bit of panic into the mind of Desmarinas. As experienced as he is, he shouldn't be panicked, but you never know. It's worth a try if you're Sanchez. And more of a premium than ever in this really good fight tonight for Desmarinas to keep on boxing. Cracking right hand, and again. And yet again, Sanchez is just walking through him. Desmarinas is coming on strong, and for once Sanchez doesn't look so strong, and he's static on the rope. Donovan Boucher's taking a closer look. It's a brilliant stoppage from the referee, a brilliant victory for Michael Desmarinas in a tremendous featherweight contest. World class both ways, but Sanchez's resistance finally broke. There was a moment of real concern in that round for Desmarinas when he got the cut, but he immediately engaged the mentality of a championship boxer. That was magical from Desmarinas.
By TKO, the winner, Michael Spicy Justice.
6 rounds we will remember, and we remember the part played in them tonight by Jorge Sanchez.
So yan po ang gusto kong i-share sa inyo ngayong araw sa mga kaibigan at kababayan natin dyan sa Pinas, mga boxing fans at sa mga tulad kong OFW saan man panig sa mundo. Kumusta po kayong lahat dyan? Kung nagustuhan niyo po itong aking video, paki-like at kung pwede, mag-subscribe na din po kayo. At para updated kayo sa aking mga video, pwede nyo i-click ang notification bell. Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood. Shout out kay Mr. Minandro Domingo ng KSA, kay Mr. Brando Makatangay ng KSA, kay Mr. Ricardo Bernaldo Jr., GI pa din ng Bahamas, kay Mr. Narciso Dupla, kay Miss Madam B at Bilma Reyes, kay Mr. Dong Tangloy Malyari, Jen Merdan Garcia ng Macau, Nerio Morcia, Billy Jubildad, Jan Maravillas at kay Mr. Edgar Balili. Maraming salamat po sa pagsuporta nyo sa aking channel.
He still does that.
No need to go there. Working well.
Struggling to get to his feet. In terrible shape. It's all over. It's all over.
They talk about approval and sanctioning requirements. It talks about the new provision not sanctioning a fight in which a fighter has suffered 10 consecutive defeats in professional boxing. So if this bill now there right now, and Penelos is still following him around. Oh, good body shot.
Yeah, body shot puts Gonzalez down.
He's hurting.
Это нокдаун. Если нет последний нокаут. Все, аут. Праздник на Филиппинах. Arenas, Joe, has been in a lot of close tough fights. 4 draws and 5 splits or majority decisions. Unlike Davis, he's fire testing, ready for battle.